Hello and welcome to CosmoQuest's office hours. Um, Good. It looks like we're streaming. It looks like things are going out. Hello, Paranor. Hello, Keeper of Maps. Hello, Apita. I have on my Marvin the Martian jump drive that is currently missing its head. Because if its head is on, I can't shove it into my computer. I have the files for this evening. My old Mac did not want to boot up, and that was the reason for the delay. So I appreciate the patience all of you have had as I started 7 minutes late, which I know in Twitch time isn't horrible, but I feel horrible. So our plan for tonight is I'm going to continue working to sorry. Yes, Uncle Bill. Audio on the first try, strictly because this is the CosmoQuest channel where things just seem to work a little bit better. So I'm working on getting the files so that I can work on continuing our torture of a exoplanet around Kelt 9. And this is something we've been working on for a while. And for any of you who are new and don't know what we are doing, well, I'll be able to show you in a moment. But to give you a heads up, I'm using software that allows me to easily animate math, animate equations, all sorts of different things. And with that software, I am working to basically paint out the trials and tribulations of a planet that is orbiting just a little bit too close to its star. I wonder why there's no chat on the vid. That is deeply confusing. Hold on, let me see if I can fix that. It's amazing the little things that decide to go boink in the night, and chat seems to be one of the things that likes to do that periodically. Okay, so I have a chat box. I'm going to copy the widget code. I'm going to add in the widget code. Well, Streamlabs is seeing your chat. Let's see if this works. I updated it and it's noping me. Why are you noping me? That is mean. Okay, let me switch views and see if it works better in the other view. No chat. Why is there no chat? Okay, I'm going to delete the angry chat and just add new chat in. So I apologize for my obstinate new computer. It is still learning how it is supposed to behave. I'll have this fixed in a minute, I hope. New chat. I'm going to call this new chat. And hopefully new chat will understand what it is supposed to do. So let's see. Due to a bug in OBS, the auto updater is not able to see new updates. That is deeply confusing, OBS. Why are you torturing me like this? So there may be an issue with OBS this evening that is eating the chat. Because I'm not seeing how to make the chat go. Okay, so there's always a way to fix these things. Um, let me try one more thing. I need a Star Strider window, and I think I can cheat the system. So how are you guys all doing this evening? Are you out there able to, enjoy a cooler night or escape the heat? All of you people who are in the overly hot North Americas and North US. Whoa, okay, need to mute that. Okay, I found the stream in a different window, and it is loud and opinionated. So let me find the chat. There it is, in the other window, and pop the chat in the other window. And I am going to attempt to capture the chat and bring it in. Oh, that sounds lovely, Paranor. You are making me wish I could be in the North Atlantic regions. Well, I don't like dungeons, but other than the dungeon bit, that sounds truly lovely. Okay, let me see if I can capture my chat. Yeah, Keeper of Maps, you have much better weather as well. And again, I apologize for all of the foobarness this evening. Streamlabs eating the chat was not something I was anticipating having to deal with this evening, but sometimes life is just like, I shall play with you. Yeah, like I said, there's always a way to defeat these things. Oh wow, I have a lot of windows to pick from. There we go. I think it's... 451 would have made a great pun. That is true, and it also rhymes. Let's see. Okay, I caught that. And we now have chat. I would like to cut the top off of this. I'm not entirely sure how best to approach that, but I have ideas. I shall win over these windows. Software is not allowed to win today. It's just not. Okay, so there's that. So I'm going to embiggen me. And I think I have mostly found a solution. It's not a pretty solution, but it's a solution. I don't know if this means that we're also going to be without alerts this evening. This is me just being sad at all the things that I don't know if they're working. So I'm going to do a test follow. No, we have nothing coming in from Streamlabs this evening. Okay, so Streamlabs fell over. I have Streamlabs open on my computer so I can see what's going on at least. Thank you for the 1-bit Keeper of Maps. Thank you for the host over, Uncle Bill. Thank you for the follow 8 hours ago, Paulatimus. I don't know if you're still here. Yeah, Streamlabs is totally broke. Oh well. So let me see what I can do to at least find us some fun simulations to play with. The background on my screen this evening is a photo I took of a very crescent moon, and it looks very strange when you're only seeing the smallest fragment of it. Okay, so I'm working to get my simulation open. There we go. So here's my code, and I'm going to go ahead and run it so we can see where we left off. Okay, so what I was working on last we saw this simulation, I was trying to figure out how to get the planet's shadow to appropriately move as it went around. So you can see I have something moving side to side. I'm trying to remember what my logic was when I did this. So there's the edge of the shadow. I did that backwards. So what I want is when the shadow, when the planet is directly in front of the star, I want, and I wish I could pause this. So right there, I want the shadow to completely cover it. And then as it moves, we should slowly begin to see a crescent on the left, and it should hit halfway illuminated when it's all the way to the right. Thank you, Fenmil. Thank you, Paranor. You guys are awesome. And I'm so sad that Streamlabs is being so amazingly hateful. It's like not even giving me happy noises or anything. Thank you, Fenmil. We're going to have a penny battle this evening. All right, so the first thing I need to do is recall that last time I was working on this, I really just wasn't feeling well, and it was kind of a death to the code kind of night. So I'm going to try and rescue this. So first thing I'm going to do, I want the line to be on the right when it starts, and I want it to be on the left when it ends. Or no, I want it to start out halfway. So it starts half illuminated, it then moves to fully, and then it goes to half the other side. Okay, let me see. Okay, all you footballers, I see you in there. Oh, you guys are awesome. Pow. I like pow. All right, let's see what I can do to solve this stupid shadowy mess that I have here. I'm hoping that this is where the code is. Okay, so there's the draw stick, and here is the shade, the planet. The shade of the planet that is not doing what I would like. So let's see what we can do. So step 0 to 100. At step 50, it should be entirely brown. That is true. So it needs to, let me detail this a little bit better. So I want steps 0 to 50 goes from shadow on left, to fully shadowed, and then steps 50 to 100. You guys are all so silly, but the stumpy feet make me happy. Okay, goes from fully shadowed to shadow on right. Now, I'm going to start by staring at the mess I have. So I start out with, I'm drawing an arc, and the arc is centered at planet X, planet Y. I should pause. I have the Twitch video streaming in my peripheral vision, and that's deeply confusing. Keeper of maps, you like to generate patterns that confuse people. I'm looking to see if I can see what your pattern is. I should be programming though. Oh, Space Cadet, that's adorable and awesome. Okay, so continuing with attempting to convince my brain that it should be coding. I am drawing a arc that goes from, I need to look up the command for this. So the arc is centered on the planet. It has a height that is the diameter of the planet, and it has a width that is currently based on cosine and should totally be based on sine. And then the other side of this, let's see if I switch this one to cosine, if we get what we need. All right, press play. So there, oh, it totally went the wrong direction. And then it flipped to the other side, it's wrong direction. Okay, let's watch this again. So the shadows middle, coming out the other side, middle, and then it should go to the right at, yeah, I just need to do a sign reverse on both of those. Planet diameter, okay, so I need to swap these is what I need to do. So where I'm running into problems is it's trying to figure out which way around the circle to draw the arc. And I need to give it the other side of the circle to draw around. Well, there is probably a One Direction parody band named Wrong Direction. This is true. Okay. And nailed it. Okay, so now I just need to close the shadow and then consider trying to maybe give it some shading. So I'm going to look up the command on this just a little bit better because I want to make sure that I'm not doing anything weird. Oh, Paranor. All right, so I want to make an arc that gets filled in, and it looks like if I want it to get filled in, I have to add the word chord. I don't know if I'm reading this correctly, but I think this will do what I want, except I have to spell it correctly. Oh, it likes things to be capitalized. Let's see if this works. Thank you, Fenmill. Oh, the pattern has been discovered. That is actually one of my favorite mathematical series. I want to get a piece of art that is the perfect Fibonacci spiral as the pattern inside a window, and then look through the window to see. That does not do what I was hoping for. Look through the window to see a spiral galaxy in the background. Okay, so I totally screwed this up. So that should be, oh, because I'm confused. That's what I am. Okay, how do I fix this? Yeah, stained glass. I'd love to get a stained glass in the Fibonacci series, and I think our house would support it. Oh, I see what I need to do. I need to draw two different things, I think. Okay, let me get rid of the word cord over here. Okay, so here I need to connect this. So what I want is the thing that I'm drawing to be filled in, maybe? I may be drawing the wrong way around the circle is the issue. Hello, Skydiver Idaho. Oh, what are you saying that I need? Yes, I need something like that. Oh, there's so many pretty things in there. Okay, going back to my coding, what I need is to try different words to see if I can figure out how to get this to fill things in a way that makes sense to my poor beleaguered brain. So let me try that. You aren't filling it in. Why aren't you filling it in? You look at the instructions again. Oh, somewhere I'm using the no fill command. Let's get rid of the no fill command, or simply give it a color to fill with. Fill 153, 74, 0. Let's see if that helps. Sort of. Okay, we're getting closer. What do you think of your zero gravity chair, keeper of maps? I've been looking at those, and it just seems like entirely the wrong device to curl up with an iPad in. So for this one, I want to fill the left side consistently. Arc I totally understand what you mean by easier working locks. Um, I've tried using my husband's chair, and I, so far I haven't managed to toss myself out, but it's been close a few times. It's been really close a few times. Um, I don't like it when chairs attack. That may just be a personal problem, but I like my chairs to be friendly and not try and physically assault me. Okay, I got. No! Wait. Oh, I didn't write that side of the command yet. So let's watch it on the other side. Come back around. Okay, that worked. Let's get the other side working and then finesse it into being a bit prettier. Because right now, wow, it's ugly. It's like the shadow is eating the world instead of just shadowing the world. Let's grab that. It does look like one of the play school people, you're right. Um, yes, that is very true. Okay, let's work on trying to get this to make sense everywhere. So when you say domestic beer keeper of maps, I'm assuming that you mean um, Canadian beers that come in brown bottles. And I'm trying to remember, do all beers come in brown bottles? That's probably a stupid sounding question, but I am not as bottled beer literate as I should be. Automod is definitely getting better. Fenmill is having far too much fun in the chat. Okay, so I have corrected that. Let's see. Shadow, 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 shadow. Completely shadowed. Unshadow, unshadow. Unshadow. We are unshadowed, and then it starts going around. So I'll work on that next. I'm going to slow this down a little bit. It turns out, now that I have a working computer, it's a much zippier animation. So let's knock this frame rate down 50% and see what that does. And coming back down to working on fixing my shadow, I'm going to make my stroke weight 1. And I'm going to work on what to do for the next segment. So the next thing it does, and I'm going to comment this to show my future self that I do actually love it. So from 101, and this should be really from 0 to 49. From 101 to 150. Goes from shadow on the right to, oh, I don't know how to draw this as a crescent. Shadow on the right to fully illuminated. Okay, that's a fascinating issue. I have to figure out how to draw a crescent. And I have no clue at all. Okay, we can figure these things out as we go. And then the last step of this is going to be steps 151 to 200. Goes from fully illuminated to shadow on the left. Let's press play. I seriously slowed it down. It's doing its job, and the shadow is much less obnoxious now. And there it is coming out the other side. Okay, so now I need to figure out how to draw a crescent. And this is where it gets trickstery. And I'm going to adjust things down here to go back to where they should be. So this is going to have to be an if statement, and it's going to go for I equals 0 to I, and this is how many lines I need to draw to get the crescent where I want. So this would be I less than, I think it's this value here. I hope it is. I plus plus. So this means that for every step I need to draw a different number of lines to create my filled in region. So here I'm going to do a whole series of arcs where I believe my arc size is going to be related to this, and it's actually going to be I instead of step. I have no clue if this is correct. We're going to just experimentally find out. But I need to add my if statement. So this is, let's make all of these less than or equals to be consistent. Less than or equals, this needs to be 150. Okay. So there it's getting fully shadowed. It's becoming a crescent. And let's see. No, I did not draw that correctly. I am sad. I am sad. I want to know what Elven Biddy Times is, because that sounds like a really amazing Renaissance fair. Okay. That did nothing. Let's just try sine pi I. But Elven Biddy was so much cooler. Keeper of Maps, how is it darker here than where you are? Okay, so this is not functional. So let's try I equals 0, I less than 100, now less than 50. And see what happens, and then we'll work on modifying it. Pi I divided by 50. That should work. Oh, I bet I don't have the command up here to draw the shadow. No, I totally have the command to draw the shadow. Okay. Trying again. We have made it Elven Biddy forever. Okay, that worked. Now it's going to come out the other side, shaded the wrong way, I suspect. Or not shaded at all, because I didn't write that part of the if statement. Yep, okay, so let's scroll back down and work on shading the other side of the planet. When it comes out. And to get the other side of the planet, I just need to do the arc in the opposite direction. So I want it to get the arc correctly. Hello, femme stranger. Welcome. Yes, Fenmil, that is truth. That is truth. Earlier today, John Scalzi and Will Wheaton were having a fabulous Twitter argument where they determined as an insult there's carbonated burritos, and I've determined that is potentially the most dangerous food ever. Okay, so we have it mostly. Okay, you can blame me for everything, Fenmel. That works. I'm willing to take it. Now I have... This is one edge. And what I need to modify... So what happens if I have it only do this to 25? Trying to figure out what term I have to vary to get this to do what it needs to do. Fenmil, you do have all of them, but you aren't allowed to keep them. Some things must be shared. Okay, so varying that was not what needed to vary. That seems to imply that my for loop isn't actually doing anything. Let's test that theory. Yeah, Antares is one super red star. There's good reason that people were wrong. Oh, wow, we just got a heat advisory for tomorrow for the holiday, and it is expected to be it's expected to be 105 degrees tomorrow, which is basically bad. Okay, let's set I equal to a value. Hey, Surgical Decision, thank you so much for the bits. Yes, 105 Fahrenheit tomorrow. So for those of you just joining, that's before the Humidity Keeper of Maps. For those of you just joining, I am trying to correctly animate a shadow on a planet going round and round a star, and it's not entirely working as one might wish. So I'm trying to figure out what variables I need to vary. And it looks like one of the variables I need to vary is the loop that sets how big my width of my shadow is. So it looks like for this I need a cosine term maybe. To get it to draw on the correct side. I'm just going to draw part of this for now and see if I can get crescent phases out of it. What are you taking, Apita? No, graduate school never ends. That is entirely true. Oh, Fenmil. Why is this not doing what I wish it to do? Okay. Let's do that. I'm going to manhandle my crescents into being. I'm going to force them to exist as I wish for them to exist, and then I'll add the loops. Okay. I want this to be I just want to draw the outer edge of an arc. I suspect I need to say no fill, and that is what I'm doing wrong. So let's do a no fill there. And that should fix the no fill for now. And let's just do pi and pi and see if that gives me a crescent. That sounds deeply pleasing, Apita. Which particular native tribes are you studying, or is it a generalized certificate? It's not drawing. Paranor, keeper of maps. Why the food discussion? Pie and ice cream would be quite tasty now. So this theoretically will be building this up piece by piece by piece. So theoretically this will be a half circle. I like it when people's names or restaurants' names say exactly what it is you can expect to find there. Okay, so I got that arc going. So I need to get the arc building inwards. So I want to start with cosine of 1. So this is times cosine of my step number of 200 minus my step number divided by 200? No, that doesn't make sense. 200 minus step number will go from my brain is shutting off. My brain is totally shutting off. So I want this to start off with a value of 0. So that means that I want to do step number minus 150. And then I'm going to divide this by 50 so that it goes to a total value of 1. And then it's multiplied by pi. So this should be shifting my arc over time, I think. I don't know. I'm going to know in a moment. And I'm going to do this for both of these. I feel like I'm being an experimentalist in programming this because I'm not writing out my geometry ahead of time. Yes, I'm still programming Keeper of Maps, and Paranorm, my mug needs refilling too. Hey, Skywatcher Jim. Instead of watching the sky, we're currently programming the sky. So Keeper of Maps, we were discussing our lunches earlier, and my lunch evolved into a chunk of cheese and puffed green bean chips. So I think I qualify for both a healthy and unhealthy lunch simultaneously. Okay, still not behaving as I wish. I'm not sure why it's not behaving as I wish. So the way I did this before was to say it needed to go to planet diameter minus, so I had some value n, which was the total amount it needed to go to. Where did I set n? N is a deeply mysterious variable somewhere. I don't know where I set n. N. Oh, now it's going to take me to all the n's. Let's tell it to not ignore case. So alpha goes from 0 to n pixels, where n is 30% of the radius. So there's one value of n. Let's see if I set n differently anywhere else. so weird. Okay, I think I like created a variable while not thinking at some point. Hey, JC Forever. I'm working on code to simulate a hot Jupiter or animate a hot Jupiter. And what I'm trying to do right now is get the shadows to work. So currently I have the shadow functional but not pretty for when the planet is passing in front of the star. And I have the shadow totally borked for when the planet goes behind the star. So the way I need to draw it when it goes behind is I have to draw a whole series of arcs that go out to the point that matters. But it's just not currently working. And I'm trying to figure out how to get it to work. Okay, so what I have is this code here does exactly half the planet shaded for my steps. Now, I didn't tell it no fill, so that may be why it's doing that. So let me do no fill to see what happens, and draw. Sat run. That sounds like the kind of 2K race that I could totally participate in and enjoy. Oh, I didn't finish writing this variable in. So I was going to try a different strategy here. So planet diameter minus planet, let's try making this fractional. Planet diameter times I over 200. Nope, that doesn't work. This is 200 minus I over 50. Oh, crud. I haven't been remembering to do this as floats. That might be the entire thing that I'm fighting with, is I haven't been writing these numbers in as floats. Oh, that would be a hateful thing if that's the sole source of all my confusion at the moment. Let's try this again. Syntax error, missing parenthesis. Yes, there is a missing parenthesis. It's an unnecessary parenthesis. Nope, still not happy. I forgot a multiplication sign. I'm just working my way through all the typos. I don't know what it was doing to pi. I just know the final result would have been based on doing everything as ints, so that could be the case. Oh, okay. That did not do what I intended for it to do. Come back around. And that's not doing anything. I seem to have broken it in a fascinating way. Okay, let's try this again. So yeah, I was varying the height instead of the width. This is what happens when my brain is thinking about the geometry and not the order of my variables. Okay, so that should be step, not I. And let's see if that works. Local astronomy clubs are always amazing, Apita. And if you're up in the Dakota area, there's actually an astronomy professor who is a Lakota and married to a Dakota, or the other way around. I can never remember. And she does a lot of work to preserve the astronomy culture of the local peoples, as well as doing regular everyday astronomy research. And it's just kind of awesome. And I don't know why this stopped working. We're finding where my brain breaks. Okay, so I want it to draw something that varies from 0 to half the diameter. So this goes from drawing all the way to the edge at 200. I'm going to back this up again. And I'm going to start off everything at an initial value for step of 90, just so we don't have to constantly wait through the beginning. Oh, yeah, Keeper of Maps. Wrong channel. You guys, I'm enjoying all of your chat back and forth. You can't say Gale without my brain auto-completing with crater, even if it's spelled a different way. One should not date, marry, or be related to giant impact basins. Okay, looking at my code, I want to draw half circles. Let's get the half circles working. I didn't start it in the right place. Okay, step value did not do what was intended. Let's try that again. Without trying to be clever this time. Trying to be clever is just getting me in trouble. So there it is, drawing all the way to the side. Come out the other side. There is the brown line on the other side. Okay. So now I want to get a loop that fills that in to be half the thing. So for I equals 0 to I equals planet dia divided by 2. Let's do a less than or equal to I plus create a loop that draws the line and the width of the line should vary from planet dia to, so to get this to vary, I'm going to multiply it by I, which will go from 0, so that's where it's drawing the full width, to planet dia divided by 2, which is its max value. So I want to divide by that so that that gives me 1. Okay. And hopefully this will half fill in my circle. And I need one more parenthesis. Shadows are a bear. That's all I want you to know. Unexpected token. I have 3 plus signs. I think I've been trying to get these shadows to work for like 3 hours of coding time. I'm sorry, Fenmill. Okay, so I'm now correctly drawing half the world in shadow. So now I just need to vary how much. Let's see if I can get this going on the other side now. And I just need to switch the angles. Okay, so this should have half the world on both sides. That is true, Keeper of Maps. But I can see it against the background, so I will eventually make the shadow match the background. But I need to make sure it works first. Okay, so there is half of it lit. The light is coming from the star. The brown is an incorrectly colored shadow because I'm trying to figure out where the shadow is, so I need to be able to see it against the background. Wow, that did something funky. Okay. Let's see if I can get something funky going in both directions. Ew, Fenmel. Now you have to explain to everyone in chat what the brown note is. So the color of the planet is based strictly on its external temperature. Its external temperature is that of a K star. It really does look like the head of a Fisher-Price person. Okay, let's work on trying to get the size of the shadow to vary. So the way I get that to vary is the Maximum size here has to vary as well. So it currently goes to planet diameter divided by 2, which gives us half of the thing illuminated. And I want to do this so that it goes to 0 at the midpoint. So this is cosine. So this is times cosine of, this is my 200 minus step. I'm going to screw this up again, I'm sure. 200 minus step divided by 50. So that starts out as 50 over 50, which is 1. So I want to do step minus 200. No, I want this to start out as 0. So I want to do step minus 150. And I'm going to remember to do everything as floats. And hopefully that will vary things. We will know. Aha. I am missing a parenthesis. I am missing a parenthesis. You guys are all so patient with my failure to be able to shadow things. I love the way you duck responsibility, Fenmill, and send everyone to South Park. Which is valid. It's valid. Ooh, that is varying the width of the shadow the wrong direction. Okay. I think I need to like sit down and math this stuff instead of trying to figure it out live where I don't have my iPad hooked up to this computer yet so I can write out the maths. While I'm truly delighted in the chat, I am not delighted with my programming skills this evening because I'm making every possible stupid mistake for not writing out my mathematics. I am going to stop working on this because I need to clearly write out this mathematics. And next week I will be here with pre-done maths and hopefully significant progress can be made. If you enjoyed this monstrosity of failing to get my code work, please give us a follow. Things are usually much better here. I will be back on this channel tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. London, to go over the day's news and bring you a taste of all that is new in space and astronomy. I'm glad you find this relaxing surgical decision. So I am about to raid all of you over to a channel where you will have a very familiar face in a few minutes. I just need to find where I hid my CosmoQuest window, and it's chat, because I can't raid you guys from my personal chat. So let me see what I can find. There it is. So here we go with moving you all between channels.